111 years of struggle, Nkrumahs never dies. Good afternoon. Welcome to the holiday edition of Pan-African News here on Pan-African Television. My name, Abena, Dede. In today's bulletin, Socialist Forum of Ghana march to mark Nkrumahs' 111th birthday. Founders Day celebration. Yes, we went out to solicit the views of Ghanaians with the essence of this celebration. Return NDC and Mahama to power, chief of Jima in the Bono East region. Later in business, government accused of suspending ban on salvaged cars importation due to election 2020. Traders at a Craft village lament over low patronage. And on an international front, CIA torture survivor testifies on ongoing trial of Julian Assange. Details of these stories and some others coming up in the next 1 hour. Do stay with us. The news in detail. The Socialist Forum of Ghana, a Krapim collective in conjunction with Abena Craft Village Center on Saturday, September 19, 2020, had a health walk from Ayi Mensato booth through to Abena and ended at the Abena Craft Center to mark the 111th birthday of Assange for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Some participants took turns to eulogize Dr. Nkrumah and also share thoughts on the Socialist Forum of Ghana.
And Nijeda is answer and Abena a Busian who being a share na at the Paris Fimaba is answer Socialist Forum of Ghana, a Krapim collective, a Nuku Kakra, a Abena Craft village, and so Yekua once go do one Juma. Na miritieni inkita hundia timi akoso wo sa nipa kuwa bien yintem no na me wogidi se sie nyina ye koso na ye tua sa ayonkofa ne apamu yi so a mejemidi ye se nema kese a yen ananwene na ne de yen ahia no kra ye ne ebrade nyina so ezanse ye hia se Kwame Nkrumah ne ho asem na nisuade ho ne ho akona eyeye nyina ene de yen aba na enne emrewa maba ene mranti na afro popo ya ebi kumareto na ebi no musususu ebi num na ni na ye Nkrumah ne Ghana ho donya nti na yegusu a ye de abedua eni jesem ne so obi antwa anhwe wo kwan ye nyina atimi susu ye ho de abedu ha na kire se bibia ni ho a se ye boaboa ye ho a ye ntumi ye Medama no resi krakra no medamu nyina sese awo yi mu manna esansanka sumi de ankeso ye de anso enam kuyi ene ne aye nyina ye hwehwe no ye timi atumpase ne yabetena awo yi mu ne atuatu adwene medamu nyina asibio na ye wogidi se Ghana na ye nsoroma ma bibiman no bri atwemu no si ye koso kaye ho ne ye kan ye ho buma se bibi suruma na ye no ye besan aye bio na ehon aba bibiman ene wiase nyina mfa so
na ye kan no music kakra me ni mo Kwame Nkrumah ho a ese me de adisua kakra I say 1st July that was 1960 na yenya Republic holiday na baby Kwame Nkrumah start in it esi wo Accra e wo through accent high street no so no na meti se menya adisua ni kire se na se ye before no ntimi anya akonya ntimi an course program ni so that na brofo no e na omo ye de omo bo polo nti Kwame Nkrumah decide se once ye before no yes we wade pa ye wo mu a se bi ye be de e betimi aye atumpon de adisua be de ye nuani mu so aye de that fo so abenya adisua papa free nchen nti 1st July no Kwame Nkrumah decide se ye be swear ono in Ghana, that was Republic holiday. That was 1st July 1960. Until my blacks, it's me, Konya. Of course, our premise in Zuzu. And yes, Anka, the Benibia ever called Biano. White for the head, a brofu in the head, on the coon. Until blacks for Ninya, Konya, it's Mr. Put that particular land. That was pologram. Olden days, non penny phone friend pologram. It's a cra, Mekano Kuma. After the same,
there were pledge, young pioneer pledge. You were 10. The bia no pa ye ka wo school asane yakọ classroom. Na esan say ni seminar wo pepa bebre ni ntimi so kakra bi kai pe ewu mtim. Na emi de bebre ni protection of state property. Ghana hode no ube protect. Afei punctuality. So kesi 5 foot walker. And this is 5:30 10 and then will be my time 5 6 yeah 5 6 7 no can what's a 6 o'clock? 6 o'clock. It is basically a calm ho. And after honesty and integrity. Say unu nyonku bi di nkita ho na wakese say sa unu na agreement. You did agree. Afei bakwana me pekura wona family the initiator of the African personality. Ono no ma obibini wonam ho a wo hu say oyi obibini no betimi aye biribi. Ono ma wonam wiase afọ na nyina wo hu say akoyo obibini na ihu betimi aye biribi. First, now we will be beginning. Okay, on initiate African personality, the initiator of African personality.
Now, as part of activities marking Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday, our news team caught up with some Ghanaians to pick their thoughts on the essence of the day and their fond memories of Osaje for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Today marks the 111th birthday of the founder and first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. Today we're here to find out from the public the essence of the day and their fond memories of him.
He was the founder of the UGCC. Because sometimes every room can say Kwame Nkrumah although but sometimes I don't know I didn't know but sometimes I say as time goes on. You who say yes for a budget, you who say energy because you see prior the air bakwa but to Kabuma engineer for Nipana or Mudin now woman.
Morning. And you and no one said a holiday.
But
And their holiday.
But Nkrumah birthday.
And then only fine Nkrumah.
Oh, minimum say or count family. At the same time, so only a first president of Ghana. It is a holiday, no, you didn't birthday, except for I say you didn't birthday. Because why be a maca? And then I'm so I didn't birthday.
Now, when you have John Pass,
many John Pass, DJ Magana for you, and Yamenko. Osha said, Ghana is a Pia Bontin, and from my birthday, crowd ground, and no chance say, he didn't birthday.
Na o adwentre bi efa de enkanka obdwen se ye de beka and then due nwa ye be holiday e de di ni birthday beka ho a e betimi aye fe pa.
Oh, me free say ye ne museum bia ya nkane ne birthday na ye ko na ye twa pictures na akura ye ni aya meto no na ye de akai no. It may free say penifoni to make she be sa.
Na your museum ho.
Museum na koya Accra hambo. Say all the regions here because obi Kumasi a ontime the birthday ni ti ontime makra. Obi Watakra dia ontime makra. Can free say other regions ni nyina ebi nko ho. Enti wo Watakra dia o ba wo so ana ko ni museum. E no be ma na obi ehu say ono ni nipa o di fa o di mai.
Yo. That's it.
So me that was.
Okay, you know today's holiday.
Sorry.
It's a holiday.
It's a Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Holiday.
All right. So what do you know about Nkrumah?
I know that Kwame Nkrumah, we are using this day to remember him because of how he fought for Ghana and his and how he fought for Ghana, his peacekeeping and all that. That's how we are using this day to remember him as a holiday.
Okay. So you are in person. What do you know? What do you know?
I know that he was also a president of Ghana, and again, I know that he's a very brave man who went to stand and fought for us to get this day in Ghana.
Kwame Nkrumah be oh, me say no aje Ghana esi wo ma yen fa ho di nti birthday ni bua e say e kai ni oh me di me ni de man ko ejuma nti na ma ba tra se di na me join na me sere sa nti na your freedom nti me di me ni bi nti ma fa sa nkwala ya muzisi na eji ni sa na ewia na akoda wa de na ka me timi ane say ende ya holiday ya yanku bebi betu de sisi o ma ni mu na ya kama e say nkwala mbua mo nya hwe me fa mo na mama wo so fi na mo ti garda na me bobo mo mo e bu bebi e so aka be bua na ya sasa brand na sisi alo ni be bua so e be kama.
Now, today is as well International Day of Peace. The United Nations instituted the International Day of Peace in 1981 to foster peaceful coexistence and harmonious living in a world ravaged by war, disease, and power struggle. The day is celebrated annually on September 21 and has the dove as an emblem of peace. The theme for this year, Sharing Peace Together, recognizes the interconnectedness of our global community. The UN General Assembly has declared this day as a devoted to strengthening the ideals of peace through observing 24 hours of non-violence and ceasefire. This year, it has been clearer than ever that we are not each other's enemies. Rather, our common enemy is a tireless virus that threatens our health, security, and very way of life. COVID-19 has thrown our world into turmoil and forcibly reminded us that what happens in one part of the planet can impact people everywhere. Now that is the International Day of Peace, which is today. Now moving on, the presidential candidate of the opposition Progressive People's Party, PPP, Bridget Jigbonuku, in an interview with my colleague Georgie Olsen-Viner, has said that her party would not accept the 100,000 Ghana cedis filing fee by the Electoral Commission in the upcoming general election. According to her, they will soon protest against the move and describe the EC's act as non-democratic, since it has a move to demoralize the small political parties in the country. There's more on this report.
You don't have that kind of money. Nobody does. You can hear that even the NDC is complaining. So it's not a matter of PPP doesn't have money. Even the opposition, the biggest opposition party has a problem with it. And you know what? It's funny because in 2016, around this time, the NPP complained that 50,000 was a lot of money. And I've heard someone of the NPP say this is a way of cutting out the smaller parties. I mean, we have completely monetized.
So do you believe in that? Because I also heard that. Yes. And it seems like that's a strategy for the Electoral Commission to actually cut off the smaller parties. They are very clear.
If we said it, then it must be true. I mean, they are the party in power. They know what they're talking about.
Is that democracy?
Of course not. I mean, you know and I know that it's not democracy. If you want to monetize your democracy to cut out the poor, then it means you're not governing for the poor. You don't want them in the picture. You don't want them to have a say. These are the two parties that don't want us to vote for our own MMDCs and DCs, so that the poor person can have someone to go to and can deal on that basis in their community. So that tells you where we are in this country and what they want for the betterment of the country rather than for their own parties.
So how are we going to get 100,000 that EC is going?
Well, we're not going to get it. We're going to protest against it, and then from there we'll see how it goes. I don't think that we are alone in this. I think all Ghanaians agree that 100,000 is ridiculous. There's no way you can.
Not all Ghanaians have admitted to that because you just said
the people in the ruling party, yes, who probably have the resources as it is, you know. But a lot of Ghanaians, even the ordinary Ghanaian, thinks no. I mean, if you get 100,000, what I'm going to do is we're going to go and try and raise funds from people who then will hold us to it and ask for their pound of flesh when you're in power.
Is that what PPP is going to do?
Are we going to ask for people?
Yeah.
We are raising funds from people like you and I. 1 cedi, 2 cedi, 10 cedi, 20 cedi. If you can give it, we will take it. We'll have a message going on. If you can give it to us, we'll take it.
When will this be?
Very soon, as soon as our manifesto is launched. We're not going to accept it. We're going to protest it. Whether we go to court, whether we go and hold placards, whether we will decide the way we want to do it. It's not for me to say. It's a party. We will put our heads together and see how we protest it. We are going to work towards winning election 2020. Like I said, winning comes in many ways. If we are able to look, we have 0 people in parliament. If we are able to put 10 people in parliament, we have won. It's a win, it's a goal. If we are able to put 20 people, we have won. But the ultimate is, yes, we want to win election 2020. We want Ghanaians to believe that the change they want, they can create by voting for it.
Away from that, Chief of Jima in the Bono East region, Nana Mponsa Janvi II, has urged these people to vote the National Democratic Congress NDC and John Dramani Mahama back into power. He made this assertion at a ceremony organized to crown John Dramani Mahama as the Nkosohene of the Apesika National traditional area. Nana Mponsa Janvi II said John Mahama deserved the honor for the remarkable development projects he executed in the area when he was president, adding that he deserves another term to finish up some projects that have been abandoned by the current New Patriotic Party NPP government. John Dramani Mahama was installed as the Nkosohene Development Chief under the stool name Nana Beyiman Kwame Abebio I. He undertook all the customary rites with the guidance of Nana Mponsa Janvi II, the Chief of Jima, who is the Chidomhene of the Nkrumahs Traditional Council. John Mahama, while expressing profuse gratitude to the chiefs and people of the area, pledged to continue on all the good work he started in the area. Now, meanwhile, flag bearer of the party, Dr. Henry Latte, says GCPP has no problem with the EC's filing fee for the 2020 presidential election. He added that he envisaged incrementing the fee and will entreat all political parties to abide by the Electoral Commission's directive, praising the Commission, however, for being generous with the amount. There's more to this.
NDC, when they were having their primaries for the Congress and things, and their presidential as well, how much did they ask for? This is not 400,000, and then they reduced to 300 something. So when that happened, I realized that the AC was going to go up. So I wasn't surprised when they went up to 100,000. On the parliamentary, they kept the same, they didn't go up. So they have the mandate to do what they want. You cannot change them. They have the reason why they've chosen that figure. So if they give you that figure, you pay for it. It's as simple as that.
Now, still in politics, aspiring member of parliament on the ticket of the Great Consolidated Popular Party in the Awutu Senya East constituency, Peter Latte, has promised to champion the legalization of marijuana in parliament when given the nod. The aspiring lawmaker maintained that albeit the herb has been legitimized for medical use, it's important to generalize its usage for public consumption. He further urged that discriminalizing the herb will rather help regulate its usage and break the numerous stereotypes attached to it. He spoke to my colleague Fauzu FM.
When God willing, you are elected as MP for your constituency. You are going to be a lawmaker. You have drummed on several concerns. In your capacity as a lawmaker, should it be, what are some of the reforms you propose to Parliament to address this issue?
Yes. The main reason why I want to go to Parliament is to change some laws. Trust me. There are so many archaic laws Ghana is still buying on. The colonial times, these white people use it against our people. But they left and our elders took the hands of affairs, and they are also using the same laws to intimidate we, the ordinary masses.
For instance,
let's take marijuana, the laws about marijuana. Trust me. In America, they are legalizing marijuana, but we are here jailing people for marijuana.
Because it's against our laws.
Which laws? Who brought those laws? You see, it is something that we need to look through again. We have to go. You see, so my way of going to Parliament is to help amend some colloquial and archaic laws, which is not really helping us. Because look,
and one of those laws will be legalizing the use of marijuana generally for people to use, because as of now it's been legalized for medicinal purposes. Well, so you are going to generally legalize it.
At least I am even crying for, if it is not going to be legalized outright, at least it has to be decriminalized.
In your earlier submission, you seem to be very passionate about speaking to the issue surrounding marijuana use, ganja as they put it. I'm quite curious. Are you a patron of marijuana? Do you smoke it yourself? Do you use it yourself?
Let's talk about that later.
Oh.
Watching the Founders Day edition of Pan-African News here on Pan-African Television. We're streaming live on Facebook. We're also live in our studios here in Accra, 48 Swanika Street, Abelempe. Now, to the world of business, Automobile Dealers Union of Ghana have said government swift on the implementation of the law to ban the importation of salvage vehicles and vehicle more than 10 years into the country is a mere political gimmick. Automobile Dealers Union of Ghana says the suspension of the Customs Amendment Act is an attempt by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government to win more votes in the 2020 general elections. The General Secretary of the Automobile Dealers Union, Clifford Ansu, says a total cancellation of the law that was set to take off on November 1, 2020 should be the way to go. If this is what you want to do at the moment, then it means that immediately after the elections, the law can come back, because if something is good, you don't suspend it. Suspensions are only done when someone misbehaves, but if you only say this is what you can do for us now, then the decision by the government on this issue is not definite and we are not happy with the decision, he said. Already, the minority members in Parliament have asked Ghanaians to ignore suspension of the law. Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu said the suspension is propaganda because the government has no power to suspend the law. The act, which was passed in March 2020 amid fears of job losses, Mr. Idrisu explained that when the law was first introduced in Parliament, the minority cautioned the government that it was a bad law that will take Ghanaians out of jobs. After realizing that this law will bite them hard in the elections, they have now turned round to claim that it has been suspended, he said. The Customs Amendment Act 2020 provides incentives for automobile manufacturers and assemblers registered under the Ghana Automotive Manufacturers Program and prohibits the importation of salvaged motor vehicles and cars over 10 years of age into Ghana. The implementation of the law was suspended suddenly last week. Still in the world of business, some traders at the Abena Craft Village Center have expressed worry over low patronage amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking to Pan-African News, the outraged traders disclosed that the easing of restrictions has not yielded any positive impacts on their trade.
Yeah, any first price for her, any money, but money will be price. We look at the man. But I say, as a first person, interview, I mean, you will be MP no mying, will be mying. Then Abano was also means can only so means can admire it will be sacrifice. Admire in Sacoyano.
Ebiano mumde enye because before corona na market nenye. Ena corona time nso market in the iOS kra efi Africa. Ebi before ni ye adwuma. Enti entumi ngo ebia bibi ti se figure isi. Me tumi fa obronika la mfanye. So what does it? Esa kra me adwuma no kra obi ehu ba bi efi. Ebe se nya Chinese for ni ye ni bi.
The president of the Abena Craft Village, Assange, revealed that police harassment in the transportation of logs from the forests, extortion at the port of exit by regulatory and supervisory agencies, and other shipment challenges are some of the barriers artisans of the craft village have to endure in their bid to promote crafts for export. He made this appeal on the fringes of a health walk organized by the Socialist Forum of Ghana.
By the grace of God, we are managing. Now, as the coverage game is very, very low, the market is very low and bad, but as is our work, we can't go anywhere. So we are managing, we are trying to see whether when they
Well, some commercial motorbike riders at the Kwame Nkrumahs circle have expressed worry over government's unwillingness to legalize their operations. According to them, the legalization of the activities will enable them to put themselves together since that is their only source of livelihood.
Okay, so the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, made it clear at an event on Wednesday that the Akufo-Addo administration is not ready to legalize the motorcycle business, popularly known as Okada. So today I'm currently here at Circle to speak to some of the motor riders to see what they have to say in regards to this. So let me go straight to them and find out what they have for us. Hello, sir. Pacho, you're welcome to Pan-African News. Kindly tell us your take, your view, and the whole issue, the administration not ready to legalize the motor business.
Yeah, I'm Ben. Thanks for your listeners. What I have to say is, I'm not in support of, stopping the Okada, which is Akufo-Addo was saying, because a lot of the boys survive on this Okada. Because, for example, me, I was working. But because of the virus, the coronavirus, the job inside have been slow lately. So I decided to buy one motor and start something for myself because I know how to ride already. You see, so I started and at least I survived from it. Job is not going on. So aside that, the Okada is moving. You see, the Okada is moving. So why is he saying that? When he comes, he will stop Okada. For what? Because a lot of the guys, we all know that we survive on this Okada.
Yeah, but most people are actually saying, sir, it's a risky business because every day we encounter accidents involving motor riders. Most of the hospitals, when you go there, you realize that they are all complaining it's the accident from motorbike. So, what do you have to say?
Yeah. What they are saying is, I will not deny it's not true.
Mommy Roots, Pacho, Abaya Kasa, ready to legalize motor rider. To you, I am out.
Pacho, me say motor bomb, motor no bomb, no jameto.
Debut, make Kasa almost say they are not ready to legalize it. And see, like
so be a pa because me say motor bomb, or bomb no jameto, papa be a down man, to 37. One female. And it is also by a hard you, Kromodo, hard drink.
Me and see Pacho chair what drink in regards to the
margin is say, I buy say, or the car beba, Ama Obia balance is now a yebi. It's a minute buy a drink or sadly and home. It is all your mom will be a bit many Jumaye. Now moto now more and Obu and person obey Sumoto. It is a buy man a car nor the year Juma. Obey a biashon a busuya. Any biashon a year and mad beach and a danka. It's the Abena can a dream.
Pan-African TV News, Cynthia Income reporting.
Finally, in business, some traders at the Accra Center have lamented over low patronage amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The aggrieved traders who were found less busy disclosed that the reopening of their borders and the easing of the restrictions has not yielded any positive results on their market. There's more to this.
Okay, so I am currently here at the Accra Art Center. Yes, so we know the Art Center is a major market where most of the foreigners who travel in and out of the country purchases their locally made Ghanaian arts and crafts. Yes, so since the closure of borders due to the COVID-19 pandemic, most traders here have lamented bitterly over low patronage in business since the closure of borders. So this is the third week of the reopening of the Kotoka International Airport. So I'm here to speak to some of the traders to see how business has been like, if there has been boost in business since the reopening of the Kotoka International Airport. Welcome to Pan African News. Antwi, the reopening of the Kotoka border.
Oh, if you so be still market no because tourists no emma etiama is edwuma no enye kura is there enye kura because since ya dey start by ya start say edwuma but we say enye kura because okay a shop no kura pia ye maybe yene yene eba no akwese utifi a ebu a wi bibia wo bi enti no na me so beto san edwuma dey say dey aye dey amai
mami pacha edwuma na koso sen
edwuma re dey enko yiye kura since COVID. Ya ba ya shedwanu keke just because enyema ya twin Jesus tourist na to my na ya blocky border all the borders into be ma obi nko ama ya juma na egu ejuma ya de ba ya mpo ye nto wankasa wudi we ni hwe ehwo nyina paapa ente ye ka ente oso aban ne mbo ayen omuso omu diska egu won so scan ye hu ebi ma ha ye hu hwe ena ye tua taxes ye tua AME ye tua internal revenue ye tua nso ye hu hwe anyama ne de enkoyi
has business been like?
All for business. Now, with the happenings outside Ghana, today's testimony reinforced the defense's argument that the revelations made by WikiLeaks has been in the interest of the public and often crucial to securing justice for U.S. crime. The 9th day of the Assange extradition trials had a marathon round of testimonies from New Zealander journalist Nicholas Hager, Khalid El Masri, who was abducted and tortured by the Central Intelligence Agency, and John Goetz. The day also included testimony from Kari Sheikman, a U.S. journalist who continued from his round of testifying and cross-questioning yesterday. The day began with testimony from Hager, whose focus was to demonstrate that it is a necessity for investigative journalists working on wars and conflicts to gain access to classified information. Hager was one of the journalists who worked with Assange to publish the U.S. Embassy cable leaks for the New Zealand press. As part of his testimony, Hager noted that WikiLeaks took great caution when releasing classified documents, disputing the narrative of Assange's action having caused harm to individuals. I found the WikiLeaks staff to be engaged in a careful and responsible process, he said. According to Hager, the WikiLeaks team in December 2010 responded to criticism of past releases and decided on a slower, more controlled process of release gradually country by country with a range of media partners from around the world. He also joined out the importance of the releases made in the Afghan and Iraq war logs and also the publication of diplomatic cables, pointing out it prompted the New Zealand government to review the role of its troops operating in these wars overseas. Hager was followed by a brief testimony by Khalid El Masri. El Masri, a German citizen, was abducted by the CIA from the Macedonian border in 2004 and was abused, tortured, and held in inhumane conditions for months. El Masri's abduction turned out to be a result of mistaken identity. In 2012, the European Court of Human Rights declared that the CIA agents were guilty of torturing him, making it the first such judicial pronouncement of the espionage agency's action. El Masri read out a statement through a translator and credited the release of the diplomatic cables by WikiLeaks between 2010 and 2011 as crucial to the outcome of his in the ECHR. WikiLeaks publications were relied on by the ECHR in obtaining the redress, he said. El Masri also added that the exposure of what happened was necessary not just for myself, but for law and justice worldwide. Journalist John Goetz supported El Masri's statement by adding he found it extremely difficult to report on El Masri's case to make sense of how the case progressed and why there was little to no repercussions on the perpetrators. He pointed out the pressure tactics that both the US and the CIA employed on sovereign nations and also El Masri to cover up the incident. The US diplomatic cables reveal the extent of pressure brought upon the German authorities and in parallel relevant Spanish authorities not to act upon the clear evidence of criminal acts by the USA, even though by then exposed, Goetz told the court. He also added to reinforce El Masri's point that if it was not for WikiLeaks publishing the leaks, the whole case would still be buried. Wrapping up on our international front, hundreds of protesters came out of different cities of Egypt denouncing President Sisi's regime despite preemptive crackdown by the government.
Defying massive crackdown by the government, hundreds of Egyptians took to the streets in different cities and towns including Giza and Sousse, asking President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to resign on Sunday, September 20. The protest marked the anniversary of a similar protest last year, which were the largest anti-government protest in Egypt in years. The protesters have responded to the call given by Muhammad Ali, a contractor and an actor, turned whistleblower who lives in a self-imposed exile in Spain. He had asked followers of his social media page to go out on September 20 to mark the anniversary of last year's protest. His videos on YouTube alleging corruption in the Sisi government have been watched millions of times and led to popular demonstrations against the Sisi regime for days in September 2019. Thousands of people from across the country were arrested in the government's crackdown on the protest last year. The Sisi regime has outlawed demonstrations since it came to power in a military coup in 2013, deposing democratically elected President Mohamed Morsi, who later died in jail. Egyptian online news portal Madmasser had reported on September 16 that, anticipating protests at several places, the authorities had shut down the cafes and arrested hundreds of people, including some left intellectuals and activists. They had also deployed security forces at all crucial protest sites days before the anniversary of the last year's protest. According to Al Jazeera, the pro-government media in the country has launched a massive media campaign prior to September 20 to denounce the protest as a part of external conspiracy. Abdel Fattah al-Sisi's regime has undertaken an authoritarian turn by legalizing protest. It has also banned all kinds of strike calls given by workers. Hundreds of activists and journalists who have criticized the government in any form are languishing. Hundreds of activists and journalists who have criticized the government in any form are languishing in jails for years.
Credit to our international partners, People's Dispatch, for our international news. Micheal and Boasiako is on standby with some sports news update.
It's incredible! Bang on target!
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle, good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted.
And President Akufo-Addo has announced in his 17th COVID-19 address to the nation the resumption of football and its related activities in the country. The President made a statement and he stated that the decision was taken in consultation with the government and that of the Ghana Football Association. There is more in the following report.
Progressive easing of restrictions. Government has taken the decision to allow the resumption of training in all contact sports, taking into consideration the imminent participation of our national teams in international competitions. Indeed, some national teams have already been given the dispensation to begin training ahead of their international engagements. All sports people who are camped are to be tested regularly. Fellow Ghanaians, with respect to football, after due consultations with the Ghana Football Association, it has been decided that the Ghana Premier League and the Division I Football League will restart on Friday, 30th October, with a full regime of testing of the players, technical and management staff. No spectators will be allowed at the training centers, and when actual competition resumes, seating at all stadia will be limited to 25% capacity to ensure social distancing. Wearing of masks by spectators at stadia will be mandatory. The restart of all other sporting competitions will be determined on a case-by-case basis, pending consultations between the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the respective sport associations.
Now to some sad news, the football fraternity has been mourning the death of 8 young footballers of the Africa Vichy Soccer Academy who died on Saturday after their bus plunged into the Offin River. There is more to this in the following report.
According to eyewitness reports, the front tire of the minibus carrying the over 30 young footballers of the Colts team blasted on the Offin Bridge, causing the bus to veer off the bridge into the river. 6 died on the spot, while 2 later died at the Okonfo Anochi Teaching Hospital. This has plunged the football world into a state of mourning as various associations and clubs have sent their condolences to the family of the deceased players. The president of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, in a letter addressed to the Ghana Football Association's president, reads, "I am shocked and saddened to learn of the death of the 6 young sons of our great football family who died following a car accident on Saturday. I extend to you on behalf of the members of CAF Executive Committee the sincerest condolences, and I wish a speedy recovery to the injured." Football giants like Accra House of Folk and Kumasi Asante Kotoko has also expressed their profound heartfelt condolence to the family of the bereaved. 24 other kids are also receiving treatment at the St. Patrick Hospital in Offenso following the accident.
Finally, today in history, Ghana lost to 10-man Brazil in the FIFA Under-17 World Championship final in Cairo on September 21, 1997. Opukwefie drew first blood for Ghana, but Matusalem Francelino da Silva restored parity for the Latin Americans, who later had Fabio Pinto sent off. Andres Santos Maya scored from a Ronaldinho assist in 3 minutes to the end of proceedings. Let's enjoy the highlights of that game. That is what we have for you by way of sports on the media news. My name is Micheal and Boasiako, and a happy Founders Day to us all. Goodbye.
Breakfast good day, every day.
Nestle. Good food, good life.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
I'm home. I'm coming to me. Oh, and you damn come on his heart. Dang.
Tasso. So when you mean to grab the Hanuma, can one carry an asset? A day, pay your answer. Your master.
What happened? Try me, back. What for cocoa bit? When it's blue, and answer, some legend. Young Casabe men say, what for cocoa capsules? A dray and offer 2, and you minute 2, and your friend say, Calamity 2, driving what in a jum was seen to me near you. When my grow wabia was seen but down, Amadeus or DM, what the
a drawing and ya ma a pin for, one warmer and manu for, a name more fra when you fear do me.
Ghana Faja to Munti, cover 4 Antwi Dean say, Manley.
Thank you to Micheal and Boasiako for giving us update in the world of sports. Now to some entertainment news. Comedian and actress Juicy Vibes has eulogized the founder and the first president of Ghana, Osajefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, in a poem titled the Liberator, Juicy Vibes, who was awarded the Best Comedian in the Just Ended Emerging Entertainers Awards, put together the piece to commemorate and climate the Founders Day celebration. But before we look at the bite, we are fortunate to be joined by Juicy Vibes in the studio here with us. So after the bite, we'll bring you more on this.
The Liberator, out of darkness did he emerge, shooting forth like a poisonous arrow that has been released from an angry bow. Then came the booming of guns, then came the wailing of children and women. But what was the message of his cry? That the oppressor has risen against the oppressor. Then did this great son of Africa set himself upon the Assange Trial of liberation, with his noble Lieutenant Secretary, Lumumba, Impolo, and so on. He set the touch of blades, fighting tooth and nail to pull Ghana out of foreign denomination. And other nations had our cry, and through him, African nationalism has come to live. Great son of Ghana, we mourn you today. Oh, noble son of Africa, we hail you today. Out of darkness did he cry, Africa, Mother Africa, awake and see yourself, for your long period of slavery shall cease, but for your long hope of freedom shall we realize in a short while. Pour your blessings upon us, O Redeemer, and let your foot bear the noble ones. Though you are gone in flesh, but in spirit will we always remember you. Your words with us are still valuable. Asajefo, Demirifo Diewati, Kantamanto, Po Onu, Nkrumahs, Senu. Oh, Afabiaga Kwame, Baba. Thank you.
Well, so Juicy Vibes is in the studio with us. Am I permitted to call you head of comedy?
You can, yeah.
I hope I'm not going to be beaten by anyone.
No.
All right, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so quick one, tell us about this poem you wrote.
Okay, this poem, it's about Kwame Nkrumah. Growing up, I grew up with my grandmother, and she told me much about Kwame Nkrumah. Then in school, before JSS2, I was taught a lot more about him too. So I just had to just bring things together to make it a memorable something so that I can keep it forever. So I've had this poem for quite a long time.
Okay,
yeah.
So you've been reciting this poem?
No, I haven't gotten the chance to say it anywhere until today at NEAT FM and right now.
Right now. Okay,
yeah.
So can you give us a short piece of it, the poem?
It's a short, like 1 minute. So okay. If you want, I can give you.
Go ahead. That's your camera.
Okay. So, basically, Kwame Nkrumah is our liberator. He helped us from the bondage of slavery and all. And he did so much. But because most of us didn't come and meet him, we don't really know much about him. But he fought tooth and nail to make sure that Ghana had independence, yes. And what makes me more happy about it is for the fact that Ghana is the first African country to get independence, which is very, very good and a plus for Kwame Nkrumah. So this is how the poem goes. The liberator, out of darkness did he emerge, shooting forth like a poisonous arrow that has been released from an angry bow. Then came the booming of guns. Then came the wailing of children and women. But what was the message of his cry? That the oppressor has risen against the oppressor? Then did this great son of Africa set himself upon the Assange Trial of liberation with his noble Lieutenant Secretary, Lumumba, Impolo, and so on. He set the touch ablaze, fighting tooth and nail to pull Ghana out of foreign denomination, and other nations had our cry. And through him, African nationalism has come to live. Great son of Ghana, we mourn you today. Oh, noble son of Africa, we hail you today. Out of darkness did he cry, Africa, Mother Africa, awake and see yourself. For your long period of slavery shall cease, but for your long hope of freedom shall we realize in a short while. pour your blessings upon us, O Redeemer, Kwame Nkrumah, and let your foot bear the noble ones. Though you are gone in flesh, but in spirit will we always remember you. Your words with us are still valuable. Osajefo, Damirifa Driewate, Kantamanto, Po Onu, Nkrumah, Senu. Oh, Afaviaga Kwame, Baba. Thank you.
Whoa. Today is indeed a Memorial Day.
Yeah.
I really look at goosebumps all over me. Whoa, I really love it. I'm asking, are you a poet?
No.
Are you a comedian or a poet?
That's what I was
surprised.
saying. I got to do this poem when I was a bit younger.
Okay.
But growing up, I didn't get the chance to say it. I've always wanted to say it on Set the March. Yes, but I didn't get a chance to. So when I started the comedy, and I was getting interviews and all. Today, I decided to, since it's Kwame Nkrumah's birthday, I decided to just do it. So this is like the first time maybe the world is hearing this.
Oh,
yes.
That's a nice piece from Juicy Vibes. Now, you were awarded Best Comedian in the just ended Emerging Entertainers Awards.
Yes.
How did you do it, and how do you feel about this award?
Okay, growing up, my friends, anytime I'm with my friends, maybe at school, at church, anywhere I find myself, I say jokes to make my friends laugh. Every joke I say, it's very, very funny. And people thought it's going to give me a very good platform to express myself, to explore. And my video went viral about 4 years ago, but that didn't really push me because I just did something. But when my manager asked me to join TikTok, and I started getting more views, more exposure and all, though I decided to let it be something I really want to do. Yes. So that is it. I have a great sense of humor. That's what my friends and family say. So I just didn't want to waste that talent. I just wanted to bring it out so that people can hear about my jokes and laugh. In this time that there is corona, there's so many people are depressed, and it's good to laugh once in a while. So I just wanted to use this platform, or use the TikTok platform, to make my friends and the whole world laugh. So that's it.
All right,
yeah.
Good one. I wish we could talk more, but unfortunately for us, our time is up. So we'll definitely invite you.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure.
Thank you so much. So we've been in conversation with comedian and actress Juicy Vibes. Yes, we were discussing some poems surrounding Nkrumah's Day. Yes, the real Founders Day, I must say. Now that does it for today's edition of Pan-African News here on Pan-African Television. But before we go, let's take a look again at some of our headlines. Socialist Forum of Ghana marched to mark Kwame Nkrumah's 111th birthday. We also looked at Founders Day celebration and some Ghanaians' thoughts on the event. And in business, traders at a Craft Village lament over low patronage. Well, let me remind you that Founders Day, the real Founders Day celebration, takes place today, 4:00 p.m. here at Pan-African Television premises at Belempe 48 Swanika Street. And some keynote speakers, Dr. Nyaho Tamaklo, a founding member of the New Patriotic Party, and Comrade Kwesi Pratt-Jr. And so I want you to be here. Join us. Let's celebrate the real founder of Ghana, Osajefo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. 111 years of struggle. Nkrumah never dies. But do not forget that you are not an African because you were born in Africa, but because Africa was born in you. Happy Founders Day. My name is Abena Dede. Enjoy the rest of our programs.